Super.
BS.
Okay. Okay, frienderinos. It is I, Baby Boy Brank. You just missed the most perfect clap you've ever heard. We just clapped in. It was number one, best clap on the internet. We just won the award, so we're coming back from the award ceremony. Lovable Baby Boy Brank here, ready to celebrate the holiday with who is that knocking on my door, rapping on my door that's going to celebrate the holiday with me? Who is it?
J Jolly Jameson right here, ready to
J Jolly Jameson. I like that.
Squeeze down, ready to squeeze down some chimneys and give presents to people. The presents of my presents. I'm the ghost of Christmas presents, and that I'm here to talk about games.
Ho, ho, ho. It is me, J Jolly Jameson, here to give you some Coke to mix with that whiskey. Is your only gift whiskey to people, old Mr. Jameson?
It is.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, well.
And I snip a single beard hair for good luck for the rest of the year, and they get to keep
and
that.
you put it in the mixed drink. That's really disgusting. It's unsanitary, okay?
Yeah.
What if they drink that hair?
Yeah.
Well, as you guys know, we used to be a podcast about video games mostly, but since there are no consoles, no one can buy them, nobody on the show would ever dare have one because the other person doesn't have one. The consoles are done. We're done with games. Games are over. Give them up, okay? And if you're here to listen about games, then go to hell. Just go there, okay? I want to eliminate the remaining non-gender 50-plus listeners that we have.
Am I sensing some hostility
No,
here?
I'm not hostile at all. I'm happy that I didn't get the new console that I've been trying to get so hard. I'm happy that I'm hungry and I don't have delicious Triscuit crackers, okay? I want...
No, it sounds like it.
I'm super happy, okay? I would love to be
I am happy.
I would love to be
Get
playing
over it.
on the previous generation permanently, okay? Anyways, this podcast, we will talk about games, okay? That was a lie when I said we wouldn't talk about games, but I'm not going to do it unbegrudgingly. But before Josh gets to yap on about the games he's been playing, let me tell you, okay, J Jolly Jameson, Esquire, what I've been playing. I've been playing a little game called River City Girls. Ever heard of it?
That's about those girls in River City. Is that?
Yes, it is.
Am I in the
How'd
neighborhood
you
there?
know that?
Okay.
That's crazy, man. You're
I
a genius.
have a sixth sense about video games. I can see dead people and play them.
And you've got a
too.
sick sense about video games because
Yeah,
you know
right,
it's the sickest, illest game.
Yeah.
Anyways, River City Girls dropped on Games Pass this last week, so I gave it a gander and played a bit, and it's pretty fun. Did you ever play River City Ransom on the old NES?
I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did play that game. It was really fun. I know it's been ported a few times, but I don't know why they never made a sequel to it.
I think they do have a sequel on NES, but I never picked it up.
Do they?
Yeah, they have a lot of variations on that game. But River City Girls, I want to say it's done by Arxis Works or whatever, the guys who make like Blaze Blue. And it's pretty cool. I mean, it's like a pixelated 2D brawler, leveling up stuff, things like that.
Okay.
And the artwork's really great. It's pretty fun and funny.
How's the artwork?
It sucks. Yeah. So me saying it was great 1 second ago, that was actually a lie.
Please.
Now once people ask, I'll be honest. So it sucks. No, it's great. Just like I just said. And I like it, but it's a brawler. I know you love brawlers. I know you love Galaga, the old brawler. Everybody knows Galaga's a brawler. But no, I'm not a big brawler guy. Are you into brawlers?
Okay. No, not really. I'm not very good at them. I think that's the
What's
the bigger
to be good
issue
at?
here.
Huh? Moving up and down and pressing a button.
What's what?
What's to be good at when it comes to a brawler?
Yeah, you press two buttons: low kick, low kick, low kick.
I don't.
That's what I used to do over and over again.
Oh yeah, I guess this game probably has 2 buttons. Yeah, and then there's a jump. Yeah, I dig it. It's fun, but like I don't know if I'm going to spend a whole lot more time in it. But the main thing I've actually been playing that isn't obviously Apex or other stuff is Maneater. Do you know what that is? Everybody knows that.
It's a
Nelly
movie.
Furtado.
It's a movie about. Yeah, it's a. Oh, okay.
Nelly Furtado.
That's her new game, right? She's pixelated and she jumps over things. She grows wings sometimes and she goes, I'm like a bird.
Yeah, so this is about a shark.
That's what I thought.
But that can grow wings because it's trying to hit all the Nelly Furtado hits, okay?
Yeah, no, I'm just making. Yeah,
Maneater is a shark PG. It's a shark RPG where you evolve your shark and you got to eat those stinky, smelly, slimy humans. Okay, that's your job.
Ooh, okay.
I hate those humans. I want to eat them now. And I've been having fun. It's cool. It's not like there's not a lot to it. You level up by eating things, and there's a handful of mechanics, and you can equip different fins and different organs to
Okay.
And yeah.
Can you there's a lot of mechanics, but can you also eat mechanics?
You can. There's a mechanic eating section of the game. They actually, because of that joke, they're like, "Hey, we have mechanics in our game. Let's have them eat mechanics." They made that as a whole quest. No, but it is really funny. There's voiceover by Chris Parnell, so that's pretty awesome. It's great, man. And I got it on sale for $2, so I was pretty stoked. It was a $2. Yes, two American dollars I paid for this. This is it cost less than a coffee.
Not pesos, but
no. Yeah, I know. I wish I was paying $2 pesos, man.
Yeah,
they ripped me off big time.
Yeah, no, that's good.
But yeah, I guess since I've been playing on Xbox One X, which is the newest console, and you've been playing on Trash 101, which is what you have, I guess we shouldn't talk to you about what you've been playing because it's probably not as good as the thing I've been playing. So please don't tell anybody if you bought anything that, is cool or new.
Yeah, well, I mean, I won't talk about the Xbox Series X. It's just not. No, I didn't say. I said I wasn't going to talk about it. I got one, but I'm not going to talk about it. I got one and it's awesome, but I'm not going to talk about it.
Okay, we got to talk about it now because you told everybody. Before we get to the system itself, how's the box? That's what people care about.
It's pretty sexy, honestly. Like I got it in the mail. I open it up. It's like it's gift wrapped. You know how like in movies, whenever someone hands over like a suitcase with something dangerous in it, it's like perfectly packed in there.
Yeah.
And it like you can hear the voice of angels as you open the suitcase. Woo!
Yeah.
That's what it felt like popping that box open and seeing how nicely wrapped this Xbox was. Like I didn't want to take it out. It's like a Pokemon card. I just wanted to like stick it in a card sleeve and not open it for the rest of the time.
So you left it in there, right? So you wouldn't take it out?
Yeah, no, I left it in there. I was just trying to find ways to plug it in around the box. Yeah. Wasn't working. No HDMI ports on the physical box itself.
Yeah, can I keep this in the box? Is there a way that I can put that in a box and
plug
still
everything
play it?
in, preferably through Master Chief's helmet. That would be cool, but yeah.
Okay, so it's a premium box, which is all that you wanted.
Nice
you didn't want anything in there. So you turn it on, it immediately comes with every game imaginable, right? And it's super quick.
Yeah.
No, tell us what that
It's actually backwards compatible with PlayStation 1 games.
Nice.
So
it has PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 games.
I've just been sticking them all in there. Watching it read.
That's great, man. That's what all the listeners wanted. This is the console that plays backwards compatible PlayStation games.
This is the game changer made by Microsoft.
Yeah. So okay, how was the setup process? Was it painful?
Okay, so no, it wasn't painful. It pretty much like transfers all your stuff over. You can control it through the app. I guess you could do that with the last Xbox, but mine was the first generation, so I didn't have those capabilities.
Okay.
So you set the whole thing up through your phone. Like you don't do anything on the console. You plug it in and you download the Xbox app on your phone, and all the setup is done through the app.
Oh.
And it takes maybe about 10 minutes, and it transfers all your stuff over. The only thing it does not transfer over are your games. And I've heard that there's workarounds for that. And you can get it to do it, but mine did not transfer my games over. So I had to re-download, reinstall things. The saves were all good. Everything else is good. The one thing that was a pain in the butt was that I forgot the email associated with my Xbox Live profile, so I had to sit there and kind of...
How are you getting those Microsoft Rewards points then, bro, if you can't remember your email?
Yeah, I'm probably not getting
Well, that's a lot of free money you're throwing away down that turlet.
I know.
Okay, so do you have an external hard drive connected to your old Xbox One?
No, I don't. I never got one. I
Okay.
just kind of deleted games as I went.
Because you could have, I think, just unplugged that and then replugged it into your new Series X, and I think that's the easiest way to transfer games over.
Yeah. Okay. So right now I want to say about 7 or 8 games downloaded, and I haven't even used like a third of the hard drive space.
I think you're the only person on Earth that thinks that there's enough hard drive space in either of these two consoles. I take it you didn't get Black Ops, Cold War, the new Call of Duty one, the 230 gigabyte game.
Jeez, that's insane. No, so the game, the biggest file size I think I've ever installed on an Xbox was the Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition. I think that was around 127 gigabytes.
I don't. Is it really 127?
If I remember.
That's
super
okay.
Huge. Hold on, let me look.
Because I mean, it's bigger now, probably on Series X, because they did some upgrades for it. It's from what I've gathered. I'm not 100% sure. But I know that my largest game, I want to say, is Red Dead 2, but I'm not 100% sure, and that's like 115 gigs. I'm not 100% sure about those numbers. That, or I know Master Chief Collection is very big. Gears of War 4, like I'll probably never get back to that game because it's more than 100 gigs, so every time I install it, I see that number, and I'm like, delete it almost immediately because I'm like, this is way too big. But games are getting bigger. And that is that's why we're talking about this today. I don't want to hear any more about Series X. Let's talk about games are getting bigger.
Oh, never mind. It's about 50, but
okay.
I mean, it was still. It took a long time to install on my Xbox.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was bigger with Comrades too. Did you? Is that with Comrades?
Yeah, well, I installed all of the Comrades and all the DLC on there.
Because Comrades is a separate application, and my Comrades was like 50 gigs. That's why I uninstalled it.
Yeah, well, it's a whole separate game.
Yeah.
Like it has a lot of beef in there.
That's what I'm all about, those beefcakes. Yeah, so you've got infinite space, as everybody on the internet constantly is talking about. So you've only used, out of the 800 usable or whatever, you've only used like what, 100? 200 gigs?
Somewhere around there, yeah. I mean, I don't know a number
off
the top of my head.
Okay, what do you have installed? Do you know that? What have you installed?
Right now, I have Assassin's Creed Valhalla installed.
Nobody wants to hear about that. That's an old game. That's like 10 years old.
I have
oldest game on this podcast.
I have Elder Scrolls Online installed.
Okay.
I have Zoo Tycoon installed.
#1 game. That's first game everybody needs to install.
Yes,
Zoo Tycoon.
Yeah. And I have the Halo Master Chief Collection installed.
Okay. How do you
Disneyland.
Okay. How do you choose these games? Is it just you have a dartboard and it's like Zoo Tycoon's on there and you luckily throw it?
Well, had the kids sitting next to me when I was downloading. They're like, "Oh, I want to play that," so I threw that on there. They also wanted to play Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, so I ended up getting that one.
That's too mature, man. Don't let them even look at that. Is that also Games Pass? I know Zoo Tycoon is, right?
Zoo Tycoon and Power Rangers are both Games Pass.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to hear. Okay, you mentioned a stinky old game no one wants to hear about because it's the oldest Series X game, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Just start blabbering on about it, okay? Nobody wants to hear. We're all muted for the next 30 minutes, but tell us about it.
So it is quite good. There are moments where it feels like God of War, like it really feels like God of War, so much so that I want to press I want to press the X button and have my axe fly back to me, but it doesn't work like that.
Oh, I thought you were about to say you want to press like the up on the D-pad, which I think calls boy, and you want him to yell,
right,
boy. Okay,
yeah.
So it's like a God of War like
it feels like God of War. It improves upon what Odyssey did as far as like the character customization goes and being able to upgrade your weapons. You have to gather what's called wealth this time.
Okay.
So you go around, there's different places that have different materials you need to upgrade your weapon. So you open up your map, there's like silver dots, there's gold dots. The gold dots usually have a chest, and inside the chest you'll find like an ingot or a piece of iron or whatever it is, and that is what you use to upgrade your gear.
Okay.
And this is all over the map. They do have the eagle points or whatever that is, where you climb the giant mountains and you look around. Vantage points, yeah. So those are fun. They replaced the you don't do the. What was in Odyssey? You had that menu where you can like select ways to upgrade your points. Right, they're based on like a gauge system, weren't they? If I remember correctly.
Are you talking about the character skill progression? Or are you talking about the boat progression, or what? Which one? Because there's lots of
your character one where wasn't it based on a gauge, wasn't it? And you like powered up certain things when you got skill points. I'm trying to remember how that was done.
So my memory of Odyssey, and I played it not too long ago, so I should know, is the skill points work where there's 3 different sections. One's like ranged, one's stealth, one's attack.
That's right.
And you can put points in any of those, but to use the actual skills in game, you had to power up a gauge. So that's kind of what you're probably talking about. You had a meter, and you get more. I think you get more bars for that meter.
Yeah.
By doing cold stuff.
Okay, yes. So in Valhalla, they don't have the meter anymore.
No.
It's done in a node system like Final Fantasy has.
Oh, okay.
So you power up this, and then like it does a thing where it lights up the next one in the path.
Okay.
So it reminds me exactly of the node system from Final Fantasy X.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. Okay, so Odyssey was a skill tree. This is like a node system. I got you. Yeah, Odyssey was just like a tree up, down. You could see the 3 going down or going up. You were going up a chart. This is a node. Okay, and real quick, just because we didn't even talk about it, this is a Viking setting for Assassin's Creed. What do you think of the story so far?
It's good. I'm like right at the beginning, so they really throw you into they give you a brief bit of like backstory, like how your character got his name as like Ivor or the Wolf Kissed, they call him.
Because he kisses wolves, or she kisses wolves.
Because he makes out with wolves, yeah.
There's a really weird, gratuitous wolf making out scene in this game. It's really sick.
Yeah.
So.
All tongue, I tell you, all tongue. No, but he's so yeah, you find out that it has this scene where you open up, you're like giving a gift to this king, and then you get attacked by this guy who ends up killing your dad, and then boom, it goes to the main game. You're captured by the same guy that killed your dad because you've been looking for revenge.
Spoilers.
And it just throws you into combat. Like there's what was it? Assassin's Creed 3 had like 45 minutes to an hour of backstory. This game has maybe 5, and it just throws you right into it. So after that, you kind of get a chance to explore. You go to your little village, which looks like the village from Vikings, of course.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm kind of exploring. I've done one quest, and he's just now getting glimpses of things like what do they call them? The second civilization god.
Oh,
things
okay.
Are talking to
I know
him.
what you're talking. I don't know any of the lore stuff. I don't know any of that
You're
nerd
right.
shit. Okay, so
But I mean, that's where I'm at right now. So I'm about to like go talk to his dad and all that.
Okay.
But I am looking forward to exploring more because the first area, it's nice. It's not overwhelming. You can get in the boat and go out to sea, but like this first area where you're at, like it doesn't feel like you have to uncover the whole map like you did in Odyssey.
Oh, okay.
Right. It wasn't all open to you at once. You just have small pockets at a time. And then as the story progresses, they give you more and more to kind of chew on.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds pretty cool. Real quick, I've got to make a correction. Assassin's Creed 3's intro, man, is like 5 hours. It's not 45 minutes.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It is absolutely
You play as a whole
insane.
other character for a chunk of time, and then you start doing the intro as the kid. So that game is... I still...
Oh, yeah. No, I was like talking about until the opening title rolls. It felt like it was about 45 minutes.
I feel like it's even longer than that, though, because don't you remember you have to do that opening scene where you're playing as like the captain? I think his dad, essentially, is who you're playing as. And
you're Hatham, and then you get to...
the boat, and then you're on the horse.
Yeah.
There's like all these scenes, and it's cool, but then you're like, oh, shoot. And then you have to play the intro as the kid. And it's like, oh, my goodness, this takes forever. A lot of stuff sounds neat. I have heard criticism from a high commenter, number one video game critic, Joel Jacobson. He mentioned that there was maybe not as much gear in this game as like Odyssey. Like it's kind of limited on types of gear.
How much has he played? Because I mean,
He's played 40 hours.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, I mean, I don't know. I've only come across 3 weapons, and it seems like a lot of the game is geared towards you upgrading. I think that's why there's that resource system in the game. I don't I hadn't expected to not find a lot of gear, but that's interesting. I'll definitely keep my eyes out for that. But again, as you're seeking wealth across the map, you are looking for ingots. So maybe they're trying to get you more into upgrading as opposed to using different types of armor.
Well, he explained it as being similar to Ghost of Tsushima, where it's like you have a decent amount of gear in that game, but it's not a ton, and you're mainly upgrading it. You're not actually really seeking out tons of new gear. Whereas Odyssey, I feel like
Odyssey had so much.
You're just trying to figure out what to throw away, what's worth carrying.
Yeah, there's this same thing with Origins, except like the gear wasn't that great in Origins. Then Odyssey had some really good stuff in it. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of interesting. I'll keep my eyes open as I play through more of the game.
And you'll close your eyes as you play because
I'll close my eyes.
It's that scary
as I play.
So,
yeah. Put the blanket over.
Put your blanket over your head. And you close your eyes. Yeah, no, I'm excited to see what you think of it. Did you get the standard edition or the gold edition? Which version of the game you get?
I just got the regular edition.
Okay.
Honestly, from what I understand, there's not going to be any DLC coming out until I think February or March.
Okay.
They're talking about. So I mean, at this point, like, I've already dropped all this money on the console. I don't need to
nothing. I mean, you spent like what,
extra.
20
I know,
bucks?
It's nothing. Yeah,
a Series X,
$20.
Series X's are pretty much they're giving them away on the street. I can
walk
outside, pick up one if I want.
Got myself on had a budget. She's the wife's like, you can only spend $20, and that was it.
And you're like, okay, that's really easy. I'll have change left over. Yeah, I'm only allowed to spend $20. Will you take 18 for this? And Microsoft, they're peddling their wares outside. Yeah, I guess we will. Here's your $2 back. So
yeah, they hired a real Khajiit out there asking if I wanted to see their wares. So it's
nice.
Like, yeah,
everybody loves that deep cut.
Every Xbox comes with skooma. So you might as well.
This is what every Xbox needs is a skooma retailer that's also giving you that sweet, sweet skoom. Okay, so you're not going to get the wolf mount then because you didn't get that sweet a dish.
Yeah, it's not really, unless it's like something I need to play the game, which would make it a microtransaction. I'm good.
You need it. Good. Okay, I don't know how many times I got to say. I'm solid. You need that sweet wolf boy. Well, unless you've been playing other cool stuff that you want to share with all the dudes and dudettes, if they exist, then we'll probably take it to the news. Anything else you want to add?
I finished Night in the Woods, and I did.
Nope.
No, I did for real though. I did.
Okay.
No, but it was pretty solid ending. I just, like I've explained before, I just wish the game wasn't so repetitive. I don't regret playing it though. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that several times on here now. I'd like to get back to it, but since it is kind of like a walking simulator with some mini games, it's just really hard to want to play that when it's like, either am too tired to play anything, so I'll play Maneater or Apex somewhere I don't think, and I just play. Or if I have the energy, when I have the energy, I want to pick up Yakuza Like a Dragon. I was originally going to wait for that to be on sale, but everything I see about that just looks so awesome that I might have to take the plunge. I know it'll probably be on sale in a month, though, so I'm trying to hold my horses and wet my whistle on other stuff because I got to get my whistle wet.
Boom. Wet that whistle, man.
Any other sweet G's before we get to that newsy?
No, that's it, man.
Okay.
That's all I got. All I got for you at this moment in time.
Right, well, we'll be right back.
Super BS.
Extra, extra, read all about it. It's good news. Yeah, we're here with the good news, okay? Everybody who grew up in the Christian religion will definitely know that song. I can't remember. It's like a Psalty song or something, or the Donut Man or whatever. I don't know. Whatever.
My gosh, there was never a more terrifying figure out there than Psalty the Bible.
Hey kids, it's Psalty the Bible.
Yeah, you know what? Like, didn't make sense is that one, it was creepy. They had a bunch of kids spending the night with a man in a blue Bible costume, but also it always rained in that show, and the Bible's pages were never wet. He was dry all the time.
He's a singing Songbook, okay?
It's pretty hard logic for a 6-year-old kid to swallow, you know?
That kid's like, why isn't the book wet? He takes his own books outside to see. They're destroyed, but he's never destroyed.
And the kids tear tear his back open, and they just see a spine in there.
True fact, somebody waterboarded Psalty in real life. That's why he's no longer with us to see if he'd be destroyed. He did die after several hours of waterboarding. Anyways, torture's not funny. Okay, J Jolly Jameson.
Joking about it.
Let's get to the real hard facts. The next-gen consoles seemingly have a lot of issues. Main issue is there's not enough vape in them. Did you shoot some vape smoke up your Xbox Series X's butt?
You know what? Yeah, I spent all that money on the console.
Yeah.
Couldn't afford to start vaping after that, which was disappointing. But
vape's only $2, and you spent $18, so you have the $2 left over. Get those sweet juices, man.
Right. Yeah.
So you did the vape test, though, right? Tell all of the listeners, please, you did the vape test.
No, wish I did. Wish I could blow some smoke into it, but it just didn't. Timing didn't work out.
You heard it here, folks. We got a pansy. He's afraid of doing a vape test on his console. Anyways, if you're not afraid of the smoking on your console, you got to be worried about a bunch of other stuff. The PlayStation 5 has like a bunch of issues, it sounds like. Neither of us have one, so we don't really know firsthand.
So it's not an issue for us.
Yeah, not an issue. We're just laughing it up over here. Yuck, 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 yuck. No, but it's strange to see the PS5 have so many issues. I've heard that when you're downloading things, some things will be like locked in the download, like meaning they won't continue. I guess when it goes into rest mode, occasionally it will have to do a hard reboot and then rebuild the database, which is kind of insane that's happening too. That's like essentially as if you powered it down incorrectly, and that's when you're doing it from rest mode. There are some things with the loading where sometimes it will skip all the scenes or screens that it's supposed to. Sometimes it will redo all that stuff, even if you're coming back from sleep. Yeah, man, it sounds like this stuff is going to have some issues for a while, and I'm curious how much of it can be patched and how much of it is actually like bad. Like one more thing that I want to throw in there before we discuss is Xbox Series X. Some people are saying that the disk drive is having issues. So I've
only experienced like that where you press eject, it'll pop back out and then immediately suck it back in. But that's the only problem I've had with it. But
you've had this for like 5 days, so that is already kind of. How long have you had it? I think at this recording, it's been about 4 days.
Since Thursday.
Yeah, so the fact that you're seeing anything is kind of not a great sign this early. You know what I mean? Like, maybe that's not the end of the world, just it resucking back in the disc, but it's just strange to think these consoles probably launched a little bit too hot. And it sounds like the PS5 definitely could have used an extra like 4 to 5 months. Yeah, man, I don't know what to think about it, truthfully. I don't know, I don't have one. A lot of people don't have one. I think I sent you the link, but there were something like 13,000 PS5s were got by scalpers, by like one scalping company to be resold.
Yeah, I was reading about that. It's crazy.
Yeah, so stuff like that. I mean, most people are either paying an extreme premium on top of a $500 console, or they're not getting them. There's only going to be a handful of people who get at MSRP this holiday. So it's weird to think like you pay $800, $900 to be part of the conversation, and you get one, and then it's like, oh, it has issues. And are those issues going to be able to be fixed? Like, like my Nintendo Switch still has Joy-Con drift. That thing's 3 years old.
Yeah, mine does.
Yeah, mine does too. And I sent mine in to Nintendo to be repaired, and it came back and it's broken still. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. Like, I'm worried that, like, I still really want to get one. I'm still looking for these consoles pretty much every day, but I'm a little bit concerned that these are maybe the hottest launches we've ever had. One good news is the consoles are supposedly not overheating, so they are not the hottest. They're the coolest launches we've ever had. But beyond that, though,
that was nice. That was good.
That was the
good
joke. I've been working on that joke for months now.
Yeah.
But beyond that, though, what do you think about all these issues coming out in like a week and a half, 2 weeks in?
I mean, my hope is that if they're serious issues, they can be fixed via patches that they can put out. I would hope that. I mean, this is one of the things we talked about a while back when they first announced these new consoles were coming out during Corona time, right? Was that, hey,
not enough beers. They're just everybody's been drinking all the Coronas.
Beers. Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, we talked about the fact that there's a chance that something like this could happen,
Yeah.
right? Because they were rushing all these to market, or the supply lines for the parts were cut off, that we could get cheaper consoles. Sony had even said that, they might actually end up like putting out new and better batches next year sometimes when the parts become more available. They basically told everyone they're going to be putting out crappy consoles. So I don't know if that ever ended up happening, but it wouldn't. It really doesn't surprise me that we're coming across things like this.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't totally surprise me. However, outside of the red ring of death, and I can't remember if I had anything on the PS3. I know they had a yellow ring that I don't think I got.
My PS3 melted inside.
Really?
Yeah, the whole, like, all the little thing, everything that held all the parts in place, it melted, and so it just stopped working.
So I mean, that console generation I think was the worst we've ever had for like just problems and issues. And
then remember they announced that everything would be running in what was it, 60 frames per second, and nothing like worked how it was supposed to out the gate.
Yeah. Are you talking about for this generation or that one?
No, for the PlayStation 3, was it?
I think it was the PlayStation 4 you're talking about, man. I don't even think we were discussing 60 frames at that point. Maybe you're right, but like I don't even remember 60 frames being a thing, because if you remember going into the 360 or going into the Xbox One, games were still running at 720p.
Yeah.
So we just finally got to 1080 this last generation. And now this console cycle is supposed to essentially run everything at 60. That's what everybody's hoping. But there's a lot of games like Watch Dogs Legion that are capped out at 30. Like you're not, Watch Dogs Legion isn't going 60, no matter which console you have. Yeah, man, I'm a little bit concerned. Like it's not changing my interest. Like I still really want to get one. Those load times are like, I mean, on old Super BS, on this Super BS, I have complained about load times always. I do not like them. I get sick of waiting through them. The fact is they're supposed to be a lot better. Have you noticed significantly faster load times?
Yeah. They're pretty quick. I've experienced issues where like I can't just launch myself into a game. I have to, every time I've quit but I've opened up another app and then turned the Xbox back on.
Yeah.
Off and then back on. I've had to reload into the game, but the loading time is incredibly fast. So it probably takes a good like less than a minute to get into the game, but I'd still have to go to the start menu for it.
Less than a minute's not terrible considering how long it takes to get into Assassin's Creed Odyssey on my Xbox One X, which is
Odyssey, like on my
probably 5
it
minutes
took like
legitimately.
A good, 3 to 5 minutes to get that all working.
From just cold to loading into the game legitimately on my Xbox One X, it is about 5 minutes. 1 minute doesn't sound terrible. That still doesn't sound great. And Quick Resume, I guess, is only working on some games. Have you even got to try that out yet, or is that the...
No, okay, so that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't been able to Quick Resume at all. I do want to play, what was it, Bright Memory, so I'm probably going to check that out a little later today. But, I haven't experienced that yet.
Maybe it needs to be patched into Valhalla. I don't know, but from what I've heard, when it does work, it's like phenomenal because you can play several games at once. Like, I mean, you should try Gears Tactics to Valhalla. Maybe that works. Maybe those two have Quick Resume or something. But yeah, I don't know, man. There's just a lot of issues. I still think these are really exciting consoles because of the load times, because of the enhanced editions. Some people are saying it's like the jump from 2D to 3D. I think that's insane. Some people are saying it's like the jump from PS2 to 360. I think that's insane.
Yeah.
But I could see it maybe being similar to the jump from 360 to Xbox One. I feel like this is almost a fair equivalent. Maybe a little bit less spectacular. But the 360, if you remember, BioShock Infinite, the original Last of Us, those were PS3 360 games. So, like, going to Xbox One, where, you had Rise, Son of Rome, and a few others that looked great, but you didn't have that many, like, showstoppers that you're like, oh, I can't do this on the last gen.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I guess we're going to be learning a lot. There's only a couple other news stories I really want to talk about. Your favorite game ever, The World Ends With You, which I know because you're wearing Shibuya-style clothes and you have all the keychains and earrings. And you look, I mean, for the listeners, because it's audio only, he essentially looks like Sora from Kingdom Hearts. He's got J Jolly Jameson, his baggy shorts, giant clown shoes, and there are so many belts on his clothes that...
Yeah, well, I have a whole sleeve made out of belts. I mean, it's
have you ever...
I don't know what it does or what it's attached to. It's just there,
Have you ever seen that belts meme? Kingdom Hearts. Let me see if I can find it. I wish sometimes this was a video podcast, because if I can find this, it's incredible. Somebody had like this meme where all I remember is there's like a pile of belts. Yeah, okay, here's one that's similar, and this is for all you audio listeners out there. It is just a picture of piles and piles and piles of belts, and Nomura is sitting in them on a phone. It is great. Type belts meme Nomura. There's even funnier ones out there, but yeah, him and his love for belts. So J Jolly Jameson is essentially a super crazy belt wearer. He loves belts, especially around his rib cage, where you're supposed to wear belts. Yep. Yeah. So The World Ends With You. It was a DS game. I want to say it's on Switch now. Like I've heard it's one of the worst ways you can play it. It's not even, you can't even put it on your TV. It has to be played in handheld, and it's on your phone. It is like a hip pop culture style game where you run around and there's a bunch of people dressed as weirdos, or popular culture, I guess, which is another name for them. And you run around Shibuya fighting monsters. The first one you had a time limit before you died or something. It's very anime. So yeah, it's totally fits with us, Super Yes. You can tell I really love anime, and I'm all into that nerd
Sure,
junk.
he does.
I really think those
Really
dumb idiots really have something good going. You can tell the way I treat them with respect.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, man. What do you think about the World Ends With You sequel and I guess anime show that they're making? Are you head over heels for it? Is it like you're most excited?
No,
now,
I've this is honestly I've never played it. I assumed it was a Kingdom Hearts game, correct?
He froze. He was so excited. He literally froze, and I wish I could share this image with you, because he is frozen in the best possible frame.
No, I'm here. I'm back.
Okay, he is back. So I will re-ask that question one more time, sir. Is The World Ends With You your game that you're most excited for 2021? It's PS4 Switch only, so I know that's the console that you just bought, PS4. So are you excited to play that?
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, there's so many other things I don't want to play before that.
And
so
you bought a Series X so you could play PS4 games.
I became a gamer for this very reason.
The World Ends With You.
You know, back when I turned on Crash Bandicoot, I was like, The World Ends With You is going to come out in 2020.
That's what I'm all about.
Yeah.
What are you are you ever going to try that series or no?
No, probably not. Are you? Do you like it?
mean,
Have you played it? Tell me about it.
Yeah, I will tell you about everything. I actually bought the DS copy. I want to say I turned it on for a minute.
Okay.
Could care less.
All
I
right.
know Dr. Donna finished it and he enjoyed it. I honestly don't ever see myself playing it. The new one looks cool.
Okay.
If they make it well and its reviews well, maybe I'll give it a shot. But a lot of Square Enix games like Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, I just don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't. Like
Right.
they have lost so much of my fanboyism from being a kid by just every decision they've made the last 10 years. So,
Okay.
you know, everything from like Kingdom Hearts 3 pretty much being garbage. I mean, it's not the worst game ever, but it's not good. To almost,
But it's not the best game ever.
what are you talking about? It's the best game ever.
Well, if you're not first, you're last.
That is totally
right?
it.
And then a wise man said that once. And
Yeah, that's a wise man said.
That's
And
like
literally only two places.
Plato.
Two places.
It's Plato,
Yeah,
right?
Plato.
Plato said
And
that.
he's
yeah,
like,
okay.
you're either first or last. It's from best to worst. It's if you're second, then you smelt it, and whoever smelt it dealt
Yeah.
it. He had a lot of great quotes and sayings. If you look at Plato and
Yeah.
Socrates, it's this.
Basically, the reason he was smarter than everyone is because like anytime they got into an intellectual debate, he would be like, "You farted," and then he'd walk away. So he won.
He is just
Left him feeling
very-
humiliated.
He's a potty humor type of guy, okay? But that's what
Yeah,
he was all
yeah.
about. He was the greatest thinker of his age, but he loved those bathroom jokes.
Right.
Yeah, man. We'll see. Square Enix needs to really bring it together with Final Fantasy 16. I mean, we all loved Final Fantasy 15. That game was great. I thought the Final Fantasy 7 remake was decent. I don't know if it's going to make my top 5 games of this year list, which is kind of insane. It did get nominated for a Game of the Year award. Did you see that?
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
makes sense.
Last of Us is going to take a lot of those. Though.
Yeah, Last of Us. I could even see Ghost of Tsushima, but I mean, there's a chance the remake will make it into some category. Like, it wasn't a bad game. It just wasn't very fun. You know, like I thought it was a remake. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And the
Right.
combat system had moments. But yeah, so The World Ends With You. You know, Square Enix will have a lot to do to bridge that gap. I don't buy almost any of their stuff anymore. Not because I dislike them. They just always sell stuff way too high a price point for way too not interesting of games. Another interesting piece is that Cyberpunk, the game that you said was coming out in 2021, seems like it's going to keep its December 10th release date. And the only reason why I'm pretty confident of that is there are copies out there. People have been getting these. I don't know where. I'm going to try to find a copy, but yeah, I guess some physical copies are out there now, almost half a month before they're supposed to be. So yeah, this is gonna be wild, man. Don't look on the internet for spoilers because you could have all of Cyberpunk spoiled probably at this point. Yeah, are you gonna get Cyberpunk? Actually, I don't know if we really talked about that.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Well, I might have to wait until like after Christmas to get it.
You gotta wait for that.
Buy a bunch of Christmas
$20.
presents.
You
But
got your $20 allowance coming after Christmas. And video games are $20,
yep.
so you just gotta
Exactly.
wait till that January $20 sale. Okay.
I know, man. I know.
No, I'm very, very excited for Cyberpunk. I'm actually gonna try to go on the hunt, see if I can find it early. Doubt I will be able to. But yeah, I'm hoping it's good. I've watched some videos. I definitely have lost some of my confidence. Like I don't think I have the same hype as the rest of the internet, but I love Deus Ex, and that's what it looks like. I would like to be playing it on Series X. They actually literally put out a video last week of it running on Series X and running on Xbox One X, and it looks better. It looks like it loads faster. The quality is just so much better, but I don't think I'm going to get a Series X by Christmas, so I will probably be playing Cyberpunk on my Xbox One X.
Just stop doubting yourself, man. Stop doubting yourself. You can do this. Yeah. Anything you set your mind to.
I'm not going to sleep till I get an Xbox Series X in my house now. Okay?
That's what I like to hear.
I don't even want
That is what I like to hear.
No winks given to me, okay? Some people say 40 winks. I see 0 winks till I get that Series X.
0 winks.
The last news, which is actually probably the oldest news, is that Capcom had a crazy data leak. Did you see this?
I did, and I saw there's a bunch of projects they were working on that they weren't planning on revealing yet, and now they're out there. It was like, well, there's
let's talk about it.
Resident Evil game.
Oh,
right?
dude.
Go down the list here. Tell me.
So we'll go from earliest to latest. I'll tell you the game name, and then I'll tell you the date. We'll talk about it. Resident Evil Outbreak is Q4 fiscal year 21. So I think that means that's probably like January 2022 to December 2021 area.
Okay.
Did you ever play the Resident Evil Outbreak series?
No.
Do you know which one that is?
But no.
Okay. That's the PS2 online co-op one that was kind of like in the vein of the original Resident Evils. Came out, I want to say, either right before 4 or after 4, but it still played like 1, 2, and 3. I actually had the first one. I really liked it when I was younger. But yeah, I hope this is a remake, and I hope it's done well, because that was a pretty cool co-op series back in a time where all that stuff was like wild, that they were doing an internet co-op on PS2. The next game on this list is Dragon's Dogma 2, Q2 fiscal year 2022. Did you play Dragon's Dogma?
No, I wanted to. I watched the anime on Netflix.
Yeah, it was good.
Pretty good. Yeah. It was. But yeah, no, that's one I wanted to get into. And I remember you guys telling me it was really hard. So I was like, maybe I'll just add that to like the back of my catalog for right now.
So Dr. Donna's played a lot more of it than I have. I don't know, man. I just can't be bothered. It looks cool. Like, it's been cheap so many times. I wouldn't even be surprised my 360 copy I own works on my Xbox One. I just don't have enough interest to turn it on, truthfully. Dragon's Dogma 2 will have a lot of work to do if they want me to buy it. Street Fighter 6 is coming Q3 fiscal year 2022, according to this. Obviously, this stuff could change. Street Fighter 6, man, do you think they're going to go only PlayStation again this second time, or do you think they're going to open it up to Xbox again?
If they were smart, they'd open it back up to Xbox, because, there's... I don't know. I feel like Xbox is a good system for these fighting games. I feel like it's especially with this new generation, like this is their chance to get off to a new start. Yeah. And I know like a lot of people who have spoken to in the past who have played, say something like Dragon Ball FighterZ, they all played it on Xbox. So it makes sense that, I don't know, I just think it would be a good idea for them. But, with that Sony money, who knows what'll happen.
We will see. I think it'd be smart as well. But again, if Sony's paying to co-publish it, it won't happen. So we'll find out what's going on there. The next game, and this is one of the weirdo small ones that they're doing, Rockman, which is also Mega Man, Match. So Mega Man Match, Q3 fiscal year 2022. Sounds to me like it's like a Puyo Puyo Tetris-y style game, if I were to guess. Could be wrong, but normally when you add match to the end of your game, that normally makes it a puzzler. So find out. Resident Evil 4 Remake. This is exciting. Q4 fiscal year 2022. So that means maybe as late as 2023, we might get Resident Evil 4. That, the remake.
Dang.
Yeah, that's a long way
that's
out. But that's what I like.
Yeah, but that's also one I think a lot of people are looking forward to.
Oh, dude. I love the Resident Evil. Resident Evil 4 was really the Resident Evil that got me into the series. That's the one that like made me care about Resident Evil. Monster Hunter 6, Q2 fiscal year 2023. So we're talking about like, early 2023, potentially Monster Hunter 6. That to me is wild. I mean, one, it's wild. It's going to take so long. Like Monster Hunter World will have been, by 2023, Monster Hunter World will be 5 years old. So that's a pretty long time. And that means these new consoles will be 3 years old. So we'll see. We'll see if that works again. I mean, these consoles were 4 years old by the time they released Monster Hunter World. So maybe this is... Or no, they were 5 years old. Wow. Yeah, I want to say it's 2018 game. Next one is Biohazard Apocalypse, which Biohazard is the Japanese name for Resident Evil, so I'm assuming that's Resident Evil. Q3 fiscal year 2023. I'm assuming this is based off the Paul Thomas Anderson Resident Evil Apocalypse film, because that's the #1 film and won all the Oscars, and everybody knows.
That's what we're all hoping for. But hey, let's be honest, though. Like, in a time when people aren't going to see movies... A movie like that is probably a good one to come out because it didn't cost that much money to make. And I don't know. I feel like those, especially the Resident Evil movies, always made back their money, and barely anyone went to go see them. So, I mean, I think that this is a good time to put out a movie like that.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably a game, but you're right about that other stuff, I guess. I mean, we'll find out. They're releasing Monster Hunter, that movie, December 25th in theaters this year. Paul Thomas Anderson and Mila Jovovich, I think his wife. Man. So we'll see if you're right. Super Street Fighter 6, Q4 fiscal year 2023. I love how Street Fighter 6 isn't even out yet, and they've already planned for Super Street Fighter 6. Oh, I love Capcom. That is just amazing. Final Fight Remake, Q2 fiscal year 2024. So we're talking about like summer 2024. Man, Final Fight. I haven't even really heard of that series since Super Nintendo. I'm sure they made other ones, but that's bonkers. Did you ever play Final Fight?
No, I remember they had a batch of arcade 1-ups that had all that on there, but no, I never got into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I mean, looks like it's a brawler. Oh, it is a brawler. Okay, I thought it was also a fighting game, but I guess all those characters must just come from the brawler. I don't know. It's a brawler, so we'll see what they do with it. If they make it a brawler, I probably won't play it. But if they make it something better, great. Power Stone Remake. This is cool. Q3 fiscal year 2024. Did you ever play Power Stone or Power Stone 2?
I did
I
not.
love those games, man. They were 3D fighters. So you run around the entire stadium, kind of like almost a Smash Brothers that's not on a 2D plane, where you'd go around, you pick up items, and you'd attack each other, up to 4 players. It was a ton of fun. I wish this remake was coming out sooner. Ultra Street Fighter 6, Q4 2024. So just to put that in perspective, Q3 fiscal year 2022, Street Fighter 6. Q4 fiscal year 2023, Super Street Fighter 6. Q4 fiscal year 2024, Ultra Street Fighter 6. I hope you're ready.
Ultra.
And I hope you're going to buy all of those. They need you to buy all 3 of those games.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
And then my favorite, because nobody really knows what this is, Resident Evil Hank, which, according to this thing on IGN, it says likely hunk. So they misspelled it, or it's, I don't know, code name. And that is the final game, Q4 fiscal year 2024. No clue what that is. Some of these Resident Evil games have been a lot of fun. We'll see. We'll see what all this is, man. But yeah, I don't know. Overall, that data leak is interesting, but everything's so far off. I also don't care. I don't know what your thoughts are, but it's like, okay, the closest game is 2 years out. Like, okay, are we gonna be alive? You know?
And what's
So yeah,
yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, that's cool, but that data leak to me, like the people are mining that stuff. It's like, okay, great. I'm sure.
Guess what we found out?
They're gonna make a Street Fighter 6. Okay, they didn't stop at 5. They're making a 6th one.
Making another,
and then they're
one.
gonna make 2 more versions of that. I know they've never done that. Don't look at Super Nintendo. I know they've never done that. So I don't know. I wonder how many Street Fighter 2 versions there are. There must be like 8 at this point of Super Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
I wonder. It's a good
it's something we'll
question.
never know. The internet does not exist, and there's no way to find
we'll never
out.
know.
Before we wrap up, because 'tis the season, J Jolly Jameson, and tomorrow will be old Thanksgiving, and you'll be roasting your pigs over the open fire and in your mud huts. And this is our listenership is coming from that area, so just mud huts and roasting pigs. This is what
they're gone.
Thanksgiving is. So no, anyways, what is your favorite? And you can tell me one or two. You can tell me more than one if you want. Okay, favorite Thanksgiving video game memory. Tell them to me now.
Well, mine is that time. Okay, so if we're talking memory, like as a kid,
like cats.
I remember. I remember when I was a kid, it was the year that Final Fantasy IX came out, and I didn't get a chance to play it till Thanksgiving break. After its release.
He was locked under the stairs where he lived.
Yeah, right. And that was like, I remember playing it at my grandma's house in Sacramento. I took my PlayStation up there, and I just spent hours playing that game just because it's one of my favorite Final Fantasies, and I was just mesmerized by it. But
what was your favorite part? That the dude had a tail?
The dude had a tail.
That's the best part.
It was Goku was in that game. No, but and I remember like going. That was I went to GameStop that year. I also bought like God Bless the Ring Urgies, and then I got Legend of Legaia that year also. Okay. So I mean, it was a good year for me in terms of like finding new things to play. More recently though, I'd have to say my favorite Thanksgiving memory, because right now Thanksgiving's probably when I do like a majority of my gaming, or was, and that was when Mario Odyssey came out that year. That had Mario Odyssey and Wolfenstein, and there's a few other things that came out that year. But yeah, there's just so much to play, and I just remember kicking back in a recliner with my shoes off and just sitting there for hours playing those games.
Yeah, man.
What's yours?
I think my number one memory, and it's probably one of the greatest games ever made, so if anybody argues with me, they're a liar and they're wrong, but is Donkey Kong 64. Yeah, that game came out, I want to say a day or two before Thanksgiving. I'm looking at the date now. It was November 22nd, 1999. And I remember playing that game so much on Thanksgiving. It's strange to me, but Nintendo 64 holds like some of my best memories. Like, I remember playing Star Fox 64 at 4th of July, and I remember playing Jet Force Gemini around Halloween.
Yeah. And
Donkey Kong 64, also made by Rare, same as Jet Force Gemini, came out like a month later, and I played the crap out of that. And then earlier than Donkey Kong 64, I played a lot of Diddy Kong Racing. I want to say that was a year or two earlier than Donkey Kong 64, because Donkey Kong 64 was like kind of the end of the Nintendo 64. Oh, it looks like Diddy Kong Racing was 97. So yeah, man, like those are some good memories. Another memory I have more recent, we were in college and I was visiting a friend of ours who lived at a local Christian university at his dorm room, and he was playing Gears of War. And at that time, I did not have a 360. That game came out in like November. And I just remember going over and playing some of it with him. And that game was so cool, man. Another memory, and I'm going to shoot out quite a few of these because I have so many good memories of gaming during Thanksgiving. Metroid Prime on GameCube. I played that like right around Thanksgiving. I want to say it came out in November. I want to say of the year it came out. So everybody doesn't kill me. Let me see when Metroid Prime did come out. Yeah, November 17th. So also like a week before Thanksgiving. That's kind of always been my thing, man. Like Half-Life 2. I played that on the day before Thanksgiving. I played Counter-Strike on Thanksgiving evening. You know, like I've always had like a Thanksgiving game to play.
Yeah, the holidays are a good time to play games.
Well, there's so many games that release at this time, and like even now, I'm like struggling to not buy Yakuza because I want to have that same memory, even though I know now I don't have the time to sit there like I did as a kid. But there's just something about getting that new game, like Fallout 4. I did not like Fallout 4, but that game came out a week before Thanksgiving. And at that time, I was having so much fun with it. That's all I wanted to do. I got, because we were older at this point, got myself some of my favorite beers, and I sat down at night, turned on Fallout 4, watched load screens for like probably 30 hours because that's all.
Right.
Because you had to keep loading back to drop off all your items. Do you have any other Thanksgiving memories? I know I just shared like so many, but I just didn't know if you had more.
So my other one would have to be playing Skyrim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I remember when that came out, and like I had been playing it on and off as my work and school schedule allowed, but like during Thanksgiving, I just remember like kicking my shoes off and just getting lost in that world, just wanting to explore everything, and I would get tired of exploring, then I'd start playing the story. I just could not stop playing. I just wanted to see everything in that game. I was like a tourist.
Yeah.
I remember I had family down, and like I felt bad because I kind of isolated myself because I wanted to play more of this game.
You weren't isolating yourself, okay? You were living in the world of Tamriel, or what's it's Tamriel, right?
Right.
Okay, Skyrim is the province though, right? Where that, or like the region.
Yes.
Dude, that game is like one of my memories of like, whoa, where I lived in China and it was kind of difficult to buy new games because they weren't legally allowed to sell them. So you had to like find them gray market.
Oh.
And I had to buy a copy of that from Hong Kong. So I didn't get it till like late December or January of that year. And I remember just being so bummed out that I was waiting so long to play Skyrim. And then once I got it, I beat it and finished I have every achievement in that game up till the DLCs.
Do you?
Well, till the DLCs. And then the problem with Xbox is you don't get 100% achievements once DLCs come out. And I never found the interest in going to those. Did you ever play the DLC for those games or no?
I did play the DLC. I had to play it twice because the first time one of the dragons swooped down and killed the NPC I needed to complete shoot, I forget. It was one of the DLCs where you're in like one of the provinces of like Morrowind, I think.
Okay.
And the dragon came down and killed the NPC I needed to complete the expansion.
Oh.
And so I just like was like, oh, that sucks. So I ended up playing it again a second time when the remastered edition came out on Xbox.
I've never gone back, man. I think the thing that troubles me now is the mod choice. Like the idea of like, do I play through this game without mods and just get the achievements again, or do I add all the mods and change drastically the way the game is played? Because it's the Xbox One
and then
version.
get no achievements.
Yeah, get no achievements. And it's like a weird, stupid thing because I don't actually care that much about achievements, but they are fun. So, and the way it works is if you add mods to any file, you cannot get achievements on that file. So, I feel like that choice has crippled my, I've yet to ever finish Elder Scrolls. Maybe I'll pick it up here, though. It's on sale on Switch again today, and there's no achievement support there, and it's also all the DLCs. So, probably not the...
What's the price we're looking at?
I think it's $30. The Switch eShop sale started today, so if you're listening to this, it's probably still going on. If you're listening to this, there are sales everywhere. Like almost every single thing besides the most recent games are on sale. And even those recent games you can probably find them for $10 off everywhere. Like I've seen Yakuza Like a Dragon. If you're willing to buy physical for anything this holiday season, you could probably get it for a little bit cheaper than what it normally costs. Outside, I haven't seen Demon's Souls on sale, but even if I get a PS5 disc version, I think because my bro-in-law and I share games, I do not think I'll be buying many physical games. So, yeah, man, I don't know. I'm pretty excited for this holiday gaming season. You have a lot of gaming plans?
No, I'd like to play Valhalla a little bit more and play Bright Memory, and then I don't know. We'll see what happens. I might do a little Black Friday shopping, so if I'm out and I see something, maybe I'll pick it up.
So where you live, I live in California. I'll just be upfront, okay? Now you guys know where I live. Please don't dox me. I live in California, the smallest state, so everybody knows exactly where I live, too. I live in California, and pretty much Black Friday shopping is not going to happen this year, like indoor. I don't actually know if they're having any indoor Black Friday shopping. They are having lots of online sales. Are you guys, where you live, are they doing any indoor sales or anything like that?
Yeah, everywhere. You just gotta wear a mask when you're out there.
Okay, I mean, but
I'm in Texas, by the way, if you're wondering.
no, they're not wondering, and they don't want to know. Now they doxed you, okay? They joshed you.
Oh, man.
Man. J Jolly Jameson, they figured out your name, and now they know where you live because you said your name and you live in Texas. And there's only one Josh in all of Texas, and you're him.
It's true. It's true.
Small state in the U.S. So we like them small there. That's what they always say. Go Smalls. Go Small Horns. It's all
right.
all
Ghosts.
satirical, man. It's not even satire.
Yeah.
It's all ironical. Ironical is a word, and if you disagree
Ironical.
with me,
No,
you're
that was
an
good.
idiot.
That was good.
Okay, well, I guess that's it. The fun's been had. No more jokes. So I hope you guys have a fun Thanksgiving. Stay safe by living under a carpet, preferably under floorboards. And we will drop some milk for you through the floorboards. Okay, so please stay safe out there. Kiss everybody you see on the lips directly. That's what the government said. Tell them that Gavin Newsom over here said he demanded a mandatory tongue inspection of everybody. So every time I go outside, there's somebody rousing at my door who's trying to tongue me down the throat, and I'm like, guy, please stop it. He's a pretty big dude. He's 50 years old too. He stops me and tongues me, and then it's and everybody that's not sexual, and it's just to check to see if I'm healthy. He sticks his tongue down my gullet. Anything you want to add? Anybody tonguing you outside your doors?
I can't follow that up. That was
well.
I'm just imagining Gavin Newsom just licking people's tongues. That's all I can.
I mean, that's how you check. That's how everybody knows. That's the check. Haven't you been to a COVID test yet? It's people there
It's just Gavin Newsom's at all of them.
Long tongues, man. They go in there.
Yeah.
They put their head into your window. I just want to give you guys this picture in case you haven't done your testing yet. They stick their head straight in your window. You open your mouth, and they just give you some tongue for like 30 seconds to a minute, and then a week later they'll send you a letter that you have COVID. That's how the testing works. It's a do you want to get COVID testing? So they test to see if you want it. You go there, you get it, you're good. So amen. Everybody
Naturally.
loves that. The remaining listeners will have finished right now. if I didn't lose them by duck kink shaming, I think I lost them by COVID tonguing. So
that should be the episode.
Okay, COVID tongue shaming or COVID tonguing. I can't name it that. I'll probably get a Snopes false information. They do not stick their tongue down your throat when you go to COVID testing. Okay, this is misinformation, false and inaccurate. That's true and accurate. We love you all. Super BS is a podcast about video games mostly. Don't cancel us. Peace.
Late.
Oh, yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Let's recount that because that was way delayed. Okay, so
Were we off?
Yeah,
Were we off there? Okay,
were
ready?
off. 3, 2, 1. Were you close to my one? Am I getting that much lag? Because I'm looking at you and it's like 2 to 3 seconds later.
Is it? All right, let's try one more
Okay.
time. We got this, okay?
3, 2, 1. Okay.
That's so weird.
Okay. Let's do one more
might,
time.
There might be some lag here.
Okay, one more
Okay,
time, and then we'll
Okay,
this time we're
you
just
count
gonna go
us
with
down.
it. Okay, 3,
Okay,
2,
count us down.
3, 2, 1.